Thank you. So this is a 10-minute talk, so I'm going to blaze through it as quickly as I can. Ada Lovelace, widely known as the world's first programmer, and yet I'm being told there's an issue. This isn't working, right? All right, Ada Lovelace. You can all hear me, right? All right. Whoa. Why don't you turn that off?
Yeah, sure.
And I'll just be my natural, very shouty self. I earned the title Lady Boss for a reason. And also, I was naturally very shy. And about 10 years ago, I was actually an Orthodox Jewish housewife. Like, I was really shy. And I've overcome that for reasons that will be clear as I give this talk. And there was so much more that I wanted to say. And then I realized it just doesn't fit in the 10 minutes. So I'm going to try and do another longer one at another PyCon, and just find me outside. We somehow, despite having so much work done in computer science by women, we somehow ended up here with a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, journalist, writing for the New York Times in 2012 that men invented the internet. And not just any men with pocket protectors. Men who idolized Mr. Spock and cried when Steve Jobs died. Nerds, geeks, give them their due. Without men, we would never know what our friends were doing 5 minutes ago. It's just not true. We've got Judith Estrin, who founded TCP/IP. We have Sandra Lerner, who co-designed the first Cisco router. We have Nicole Pello, who wrote the first browser that could run on any device. That's a very big deal. And despite that, this is one of the only photos I can find of her, and Tim Berners-Lee is front and center. This is her Wikipedia page, and it is up for deletion because it is questionable whether or not she is notable. This is an active debate, and it seems to be decided on Wikipedia that she is insufficiently notable. This isn't enough, that she wrote the first browser that could run on any device. And Radio Perlman has said, don't call me the mother of the internet. And I want to respect her introversion, and I want to respect her wishes. But we got here because a lot of us, a lot of women in the early days were okay to let men take credit for their work. And I'm really determined to see that that doesn't happen to those of us today. I couldn't find a single picture of Glenda Schroder, who's noted for the first command line shell. So I just put a photo of Tim Berners-Lee. Accurate attribution matters. Women were essential to the development of programming, computing, the internet itself. Nonetheless, when Forbes wanted to document the start of the internet, it's just a bunch of dudes. Some of whom are friends of mine, they're really good dudes, but still. It's just not accurate. And so I'm really, really pleased to kind of run through just some of the incredible women who are making Python, the Python community, go and possible and accelerate. And there's so many people who won't be included in this, and I think that we all understand that. So there's Carol Willing, who is really instrumental in this conference. And I wanted to not just highlight women, but to include some of the things that they had to say, right? Because it's not enough to just say that there are women here. We want to value them for their insights and their technical contributions. And Carol is very excited about Project Jupiter, how it's going to impact education in the coming years. And when asked about the challenges, Carol says, while I work with lovely humans, Jupiter, like many open source projects, has the challenge of improving diversity. It's true. And as for advice, try to be kind, be humble, and help others along the way. That's good advice. And a lot of the people I spoke to talked about the different ways to contribute to the open source projects that are part of Python. I love this photo by Olga. It's not the only photo I found of Olga in a princess dress. I'm really into that. I think it's been a challenge for me as a woman to show up in a feminine way. I'm trying. I wore makeup today, so feeling good about that. Olga is very well known for her significant open source contributions to scientific Python. Olga is particularly excited about supporting only Python 3. I've seen a lot of this in my interviews. People are really excited that we should be focusing on, the newest stuff, not the depreciated stuff. As for newbies, advice for newbies, fixing documentation is an awesome way to get into an open source project. I kind of love that because it's the first time I've heard this, and I think it's actually really good advice. If you're confused by a particular wording, then probably a lot of other people too. Olga also says the Python community is warm and welcoming, and I have to say I think that's true. I spoke with, I didn't get the pronunciation of her name. Maybe someone else knows how you pronounce her name. Thank you. And she said, I love the inclusivity and the kindness of the community. Every time I attend a local event, I feel inspired. And advice to people joining in, if you don't want to attend events, join a couple mailing lists or the Python IRC channel. I'm kind of introverted despite my best efforts otherwise, so I like that idea, and I think I'll join. I spoke with Lorena. Lorena said the challenge we must solve is securing the needed support for open source projects, which is interesting. It's not enough that we contribute to them, but these projects need financial support. I spoke with Marietta. I'm just excited to see more adoption of Python 3, specifically 3.6. This was a popular sentiment. And to newbies, the truth is, even after many years of programming with Python, I still feel like a newbie, and it's okay. And to women in tech, please, stay. We all need you here. So in my efforts to make sure that I wasn't late, I've actually finished a little bit early, which I think is acceptable. So let's give a round of applause for these women and for all the people here. Do we have time for one question? We can take one question. Come on, someone, please. Yes.
Was being a Jewish housewife impossible to? Could you go from that to being Python?
Actually, Python does not discriminate, and when you're a housewife and you're mostly at home, you can still do, learn to code the hard way, and you'll feel a little funny about all of Zed's cursing, but you can do it. When I became a CEO, when I became a startup entrepreneur, that's when I had to really break out of my shell, and that was hard. I think what's lovely about coding and what's lovely about Python, which is such a good learning language, is it's like really for anyone, right? Like as long as you have an internet connection. And this community in particular, I think is very inclusive. I feel very safe and welcome here. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Thanks for having me.